let's do this. I just wanted to give a couple trigger warnings before we begin because I forgot to do that. This book has a lot of emotional and mental abuse. It also has a very big plot point that I do just talk about in depth, and I read some passages from the book where someone is drugged and assaulted and almost raped, and I do talk about that for quite some time, so if you're not comfortable with that, I will be putting a timestamp down below for where that section of me talking about it begins and where it ends, just in case you want to skip over that but still watch the video. I just want people to be comfortable. So yeah, hope you guys like it. Sorry it took so long. Merry Christmas. Hello, Merry Christmas and happy suffering. It's me, Claire, all Christmased out, bringing you the best gift of the holidays. Yes, that's right, you didn't misread the title. It's here, my After We Fell review. So it took me a year to read this book because there's too much to talk about. These are all the negatives this book had, and I don't know how to talk about a single thing because I hardly remember what happened, because this book was trying to be I don't know, 50 different things. It's a contemporary romance. We don't need this. It does not have to be this big. Okay, so maybe the dolls will make an appearance in this. Maybe they won't. I don't know yet, because I still don't really know what I want this review to be. But we're about a week away from Christmas, and I promised everyone I would post this on Christmas. So we're filming it, and we're just hoping that shot I took helps. I'm not feeling it, which kind of sucks, but okay. Anyways, so After We Fell it's a 2014 romantic horror story about the trials and tribulations, am I using those words right, of being in an abusive relationship. Except that's not what it's actually about. It's actually about how sexy it is to be yelled at by a man, which ooh, give me some of that, you know, as a straight woman, hook me up with all those yelling men. That's all I want. That's what this book says is good, so give it to me. Okay, basically this book just is a continuation of all the other after books that I've already reviewed. It follows Tessa and Harden, which is the stupidest name I've ever heard for a love interest. Why do I want to think about a penis every time I say his name? I don't, but I do, because it's Harden, and he's always hard, because he's only horny for Tessa. Not in his heart, but in his groin. You know? I'm so sorry. Anyway, so this book starts right when the last book ends, which is when they find Tessa's dad, and Harden thinks he's trying to bang her, even though, he just bumps into them. Because Harden doesn't understand that not everyone is sexually attracted to his girlfriend. Or is she even his girlfriend? Who knows? Even though they are, actually, every guy in this book is ooh, Tessa, damn. Let me hit that. And it's why? I don't understand what's so special about her. She's so annoying. Anyways, so the problem with this book, in case you couldn't tell, is that it's really big. Okay? It's huge. This book is how many pages? I used to know and then I forgot. 834. It's 834 pages. It did not need to be 834 pages. Look at those. I can't even count how many sticky notes there are because I keep losing count. Maybe I will after and then put it in the description or something. But so those are all the problematic parts. And the book's too long. So it starts off with them meeting Tessa's dad, and Harden is all protective of her because, oh, I have daddy issues, so you should have daddy issues too, Tessa. You're not allowed to reconnect with your sperm donor because I hate him for no reason. And then, I don't know, he's just really mean to her dad, and she's like, Harden, Like, can you stop being mean to my dad? Because it's hurting me that you're being mean to him. And Harden's like, well, he was a drunk, Tessa. And it's like, so are you, Harden. Like, when do you not drink? Like, you get mad and then drink away your sorrows and your consequences that you get from being an asshole, and you don't deal with your shit. At least he's trying to be better. Like, I'm sorry that you don't know what therapy is, but okay. So that happens. I don't really remember much beyond that. We find out her dad's into drugs. And I can't remember where it was, but I'm pretty sure when they find out that her dad's a drug addict, Harden's like, oh my god, he's worse than a drunk. He does drugs. There's this plot where her dad owes some guy money for his drugs. And then Harden, like, gives his watch to the guy, and it's supposed to be, oh, look, he's sad because he loved that watch because his dad gave it to him. Or something. But, like, I don't remember because the book's too fucking long. Okay, so there's that plot. Tessa's still trying to move to Seattle. Harden, we find out, is ruining her trying to move to Seattle because he's a little bitch. Like, here's my question to all of you. Any sexuality, like, even if you're not dating someone, if your partner was from England and you were from America, and they wanted you to move to England where you knew nobody, and you said, no, I don't know anybody, and they said, hey, you'll know me, it's fine, that's enough. And you wanted to move to Seattle, where they wouldn't know anybody, and that was their excuse, well, I don't know anyone there. And you say, well, you'll know me, and they go, not good enough, come to London. What, would that be a red flag? Is it just a red flag for me? Like, who reads that and is like, yes, he's definitely not trying to, like, kidnap her. It's just, I really don't know what I'm trying to say. I have too many bloopers for this video. I could make, like, over 40 minutes worth of bloopers. I can't stop now. But yeah, so Harden is ruining her chances to go to Seattle because he, like, finds her, the realtor who's helping her find an apartment, and he's like, this girl's a piece of shit. She breaks things, she doesn't pay rent, she's an animal in bed. I mean, not in bed, like, she is an animal in bed because she fucking breaks the beds with her bare hands because she's so insane. You don't want her renting an apartment from you, and the realtor's like, oh yeah, shit, I should trust this random person who I don't know. And I hate to say this because you're gonna be like, Claire, it was. But it reads like a fanfiction. And I know it was a fanfiction, and I know that that's, like, kind of an offensive thing to say because not all fanfictions are terrible. And I agree, they're not. But it just, like, the thing about fanfiction compared to, like, published books is fanfiction has a lot more random stuff happen in it. And I'll use my own books, fanfictions that I totally didn't write. So, like, I'll use my fanfictions as examples. Did my romance need a kidnapping? No. Did I add it? Yes. Did this book need 2 stupid lesbians? No. Did Anna Todd add them just for cheap straight people drama? Yes. Did my book need that many car accidents? No. Did this book need Tessa? Trigger warning right now, because I forgot to say that earlier. Did it need Tessa to almost get raped and then dropped completely for some useless Harden had a bad dream where Tessa kissed another guy drama? No! Did it have it? Yeah! Why? I don't know. One of those is more traumatic, and it definitely was not the almost rape. It was definitely Harden having a dream where Tessa kissed another guy. So that's fun. That's probably why I haven't wanted to review this, because I have to talk about complicated things like that. And then I have to say, oh, but that was dropped the minute Harden had a bad dream because Tessa can't be traumatized by anything. That's another thing. Tessa never gets to feel trauma. So we're kind of, what is happening? There we go. We've gotten to that point where I'm just kind of like, let's talk about what I remember. So I also remember in the scene where Harden is talking to the lesbian about his relationship with Tessa. She says something like, oh, like there's a difference between loving someone and not being able to live without them. And I'm pretty sure that inspires Harden to go up to Tessa and be like, hey, I don't love you, I just can't live without you. Keep being my girlfriend. Which, like, that's romantic. So romantic. My panties dropped. Wow. Why can't a man say that to me? My boyfriend needs to take notes. Then there was another part near the end where they were banging and Harden was like, if you weren't a virgin when we met, I never would have thought about touching you. If another man ever touches you, it's over. This is after she was almost assaulted. Again, romantic. Totally romantic. Harden, the man whore, who's slept with how many girls in his life? We don't know. Is like, Tessa, you're only allowed to be with me. No one else. If another man ever touched you at all, I wouldn't care about you. And she's like, yes, I'm gonna have an orgasm now because that's so sexy. If a guy or girl or anyone really that you're dating says that to you, are you staying with them? Because that's like the grossest, stupidest thing anyone could ever say to their partner. Oh, sorry, if you weren't a virgin, I wouldn't care about you. I wouldn't want to finger you, because I think that's what he's doing at the time. But like, really? Anna? You think that's romantic? It's not. It's weird. It's really weird. It's not romantic. It's not sexy. It's weird that Tessa doesn't go, hey, Harden, fuck off, never talk to me again after that. It's weird that she's like, yes, let's keep banging in this gym. Because they're in someone's at-home gym, I believe. So yeah, that happened. What else happens? When Tessa moves to Seattle, she has to live with Vance, her employer, who's also secretly Harden's dad, but we're not there yet. And because Harden ruined her living arrangements, and you know, she's supposed to take space from Harden, they can't stay away from each other, so they call and have phone sex, and it's the most boring stuff. All of their sex scenes are so boring. Like, geez, what did I read? Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I read that. I was gonna review it, but then I didn't because I didn't have too much to say. I enjoyed it. It was good. Cute romance. I'd suggest it, but it has sex scenes in it. And they were, like, good. I had fun reading them, I guess. I don't really know how to talk about sex scenes. Hi, Grandma! Because you watch my videos. But the after ones are so annoying. It's like, in that book, in Get a Life, Chloe Brown, you could tell the characters were actually, like, attracted to each other. And after, you have Harden admitting, if you weren't a virgin, I wouldn't want to be with you sexually, or romantically, or at all. So, like, you get things like that during their sex scenes, and you're supposed to be like, yes, this is so good and romantic and sexy. It's not. I don't know who needs to hear that, but if your man, woman, or whatever is saying that to you, please dump them right now and get as far away as possible.
Are you sure you don't want to come in?
I'm sure.
No one can see us. You really think that I'd ask you to come in here naked if someone could? I mean, with my jealousy issues and whatnot.
What if they come back?
I'm not doing the voices right. They said an hour or two.
Yeah, but
I thought you were learning to live a little.
I am.
You're sitting there pouting in a chair while I'm enjoying the view.
I'm not pouting.
Fuck, I'm messing up. Okay. I sure am lonely in here. I may have to take care of myself.
I don't have anything to wear.
Deja vu. Just get in the damn water.
Fine. I am. Oh, you can see my hands.
Take off your clothes. God, Tessa, hot tub sex is so good with you. It's like I can feel every inch of you. Wait.
Hey, Harden.
You tricked me. You tricked me. I'm not wearing a condom. You tricked me, Tessa. Oh my god, you tricked me.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time some crazy chick did that about her tricking him into fucking her without a condom. I slide over to get a little closer now, but she quickly rises on her knees on the bench. I give her an impassive look, saying nothing. Watching me, her eyes brim with tears as she stands up in the water and climbs out of the tub. I'm going to take a shower. She disappears into the bedroom, slamming first the door to the deck, then the bathroom as she goes. Fuck! I yell, smacking a palm in the bubbling water, wishing it could hit me back. I do need to listen to what I'm saying. This isn't some random crazy bitch. This is Tessa. What the hell is wrong with me? Like, do you want the list? Because it's not short. I'm so fucking paranoid. My guilt over this Seattle shit is causing me to lose my fucking mind. What's left of it anyways? I have to fix this, or at least try to. I owe her, especially after I just accused her of the dumbest shit possible. Ironically, in a twisted way, I almost wish I hadn't remembered the condom myself. No, I don't. I don't want her to leave me, and I don't know what else to do to get her to stay. A baby isn't the answer, that's for damn sure. So he was literally considering, like, well, maybe if I didn't use the condom, Tessa would have gotten pregnant, then she wouldn't leave me for Seattle. But wait, that's a bit crazy. Like, stalking her in book 2 wasn't crazy already. I've done everything I possibly can except lock her in the apartment. Sure, it's an idea that's actually crossed my mind a few times. Claire, what the fuck? Why don't you remember that line? But I don't think she would like that too much. Plus, she'd probably get vitamin D deficiency and stop going to yoga and stop wearing those pants. She'd probably hate you a lot more than she already does if you fucking locked her in the apartment. Okay, here, I have a question. If you're a fan of After, like, did you read this version of the book, or did you find a different one? Like, I really want to know, like, if you genuinely like these books because you think they're romantic, and not because you think that they're crazy and, like, a fun ride to read, because, oh my god, these people are so insane and stupid. Like, if you genuinely like them, like, reading things like that, what makes you like Harden Scott? And don't say, well, later he tries to change, because this is book 3, I'm only reading them because people on YouTube demand, well, ask nicely and demand me to read them, and people keep buying them for me. Like, what made you like him? Up until this point, up until chapter 26 of book 3, what made you think, yeah, I like Harden? I'm really curious. Like, I'm genuinely curious because he's considered locking her in her apartment. That's kidnapping. That's kidnapping. I hope you, like, I don't know if you know what that word means, but that's when you hold someone against their will. And that's, like, a violation of human rights. I don't know if you know that either, but it is. And he wants to do it. And then he's like, well, maybe I could have gotten her pregnant so she would stay with me. That's also, a violation of human rights. And really creepy, but okay, whatever, it's fine. And then, so we get to Tessa's point of view. And what is it? He should have just gotten out of the water and grabbed one about the condom. I know he has a pile of them on top of his suitcase. I watched him shove them in there. He's probably just frustrated over this whole Seattle mess. So he's overreacted. And maybe I did too, as a result of my annoyance with Harden's rude comments and him ruining our moment in the hot tub. I needed a hot shower. And then she, like, you know, gets relaxed and she's like, okay, I'm gonna forgive him. And then Harden's on the phone with the realtor, and this is the part, we're only 152 pages into the book when, like, the biggest red flag appears. The biggest in their whole relationship. Harden has called the Seattle lady and he's been like, yo, hey, So you know how I like trash talk that girl so you'd stop helping her find an apartment? Well, I lied and I kind of fucked up and I need you to fix it and take her back. Take her back as a client. And the lady's like, no, she sounds insane. Why would I do that? So Harden has fucked up Tessa's dreams. And it's like, where is it? Here's the thing. She isn't as bad as I made her out to be. She hasn't actually trashed any apartments or left without paying, he says, and my stomach turns. He did. I burst through the doors to the deck. You sick, selfish bastard! I scream, the first words that come to my mind. Harden spins to me, face paling, mouth opening wide. His phone tumbles to the floor and he just stares at me like I'm some terrible creature who's come to destroy him. You should be. This, like, I'm all against murder, but this is a murderous, like, if you killed him right now, I'd be like, good, this is girl power. Hello? Sandra's voice says through the speaker and he reaches down to grab the phone to silence her. Anger courses through me. How could you? How could you do that? He begins. No, don't even waste my time with an excuse. What the hell were you thinking? I yell at him with one arm sweeping in his direction violently. I storm back into the bathroom and he follows me, pleading. Tessa, listen to me. I turn around, feeling wounded and strong and hurt and enraged. No, you listen to me, Harden, I say through my teeth, trying to lower my voice, but I can't. I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of you trying to sabotage everything in my life that doesn't revolve around you, I scream, balling my fists tightly at my sides. That's not what Shut up! Shut the hell up! I like that he's like, that's not what I'm trying to do. Bitch, what are you trying to do? You are the most selfish, arrogant, you're just, I can't think straight. Angry words fly from my mouth and my hands move through the air in front of me. I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to clear it up just now. I shouldn't be surprised, really. I should have known that Harden was behind Sandra's sudden disappearance. He doesn't know when to stop meddling in my life, my career, and I'm sick of it. Girl, obviously you're not. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're always doing something. You're always hiding something. You're always finding new ways to control every single thing I do. And I can't take it anymore. This is too much. Again, I bring up my question. What is romantic about Harden Scott up until this chapter that you've read? People who like him. What makes you think, yes, I wish I was Tessa fucking this man? Is it just the sex? Because it's not that great. You can read better sex in other books. There are other fan fictions with better sex that you can read for free online, so you don't have to pay $18.99 US and $25.99 Canadian for these books. These are on Wattpad. Anyways, where was I? This is too much. I can't help but pace back and forth across the room, and Harden watches me with cautious eyes. I can handle you being a little overprotective, and I can handle you getting into a fight now and then. He's not a little overprotective. He, like, stalks her to a different city in book 2. Hell, I can even handle you being a complete asshole half the time. That's not romantic, Tessa. That's not good. Because deep down, I always knew you were doing what you thought was best for me, but not this. You're trying to ruin my future, and I won't fucking have it. I'm sorry, he says, and I know that he means it, but you're always fucking sorry. It's always the same shit. You do something, hide something, say something, I cry, you say you're sorry, and bam! All has forgiven. I said has. All is forgiven. I point a harsh finger at him, but not this time. Yes, this time, because this book is this long. After that line, Tessa, and it's just you fucking him. I have the urge to slap Harden right across his face, but I look around for something to take my anger out on instead. Bitch, just hit him. Because, like, look, if you hit him, then it's, like, actually abusive, and then, you know, maybe people will be like, oh, no, I can't ship this because they're abusive. Because people just don't... What is the word? They don't process that mental abuse is a thing, emotional abuse. Harden's not physically abusive. He almost is. There is a scene where he accidentally slaps her. I think in the second book he does that twice, maybe. And he's like, I'd never hit her because I don't hit girls. But he's definitely emotionally and mentally abusive. Case in point, what I'm reading right now. But, you know, fans don't get that. They need it to be physical, because they're always like, well, he's never hit her. Like, technically he has, and even though it was an accident, it's the fact that he gets so mad that he could accidentally hit her. That's a bad sign. Anyways. This is exhausting. I don't know how much more of this I can take before I break. Fuck that. I won't break. I'm sick of breaking. That's all I ever do. I need to pick up my own pieces, put them back together neatly, and hide them away from Harden to keep them from ending up in a pile at his feet again. Good luck with that, Tessa. It doesn't work out. I'm sick of the endless cycle. I told you before, and you didn't listen. You find a new way to continue the cycle, and I'm done. I'm so fucking done. So, again, fans of the book have told me and other people it's not a cycle. They don't fight and then make up all the time. That's not what happens. The characters say it does in the text. They're too, like, these people are so self-aware. Like, the characters, they're so self-aware for people who, like, don't leave the abusive relationship. But okay. I don't know if I've ever been this angry at him. Yes, he's done worse things, but I've always moved on from that. We were never in a place like this before, a place where I thought he was done hiding things from me, and I thought he understood that he can't mess with my career. This chance means everything to me. I've spent my life watching what happens to a woman who has nothing of her own. My mother never had anything that she herself earned, anything that was hers, and I needed that. I needed to do this. I needed a chance to prove that even though I'm young, I can make a life for myself that my mother never could make for herself. I can't let anyone take this from me, the way my mother let it slip from her. Done with me? His voice is shaky, and it cracks. You said you're done. I don't know what I'm done with. It should be him, but I know myself better than to answer that right now. Normally I'd be crying by this point and forgiving him with a kiss, but not tonight. I'm so fucking exhausted, and I can't stand it. I can't keep doing this. You were going to let me move to Seattle without anywhere to live just to try and force me not to go. Harden stands before me in silence, and I take a deep breath, expecting my anger to diminish, but it doesn't. It grows and grows until I'm literally seeing red. I grab the rest of the pillows, imagining that they're actually glass vases that shatter on the floor, leaving a mess for someone else to clean up. The problem is that I would be the one doing the cleaning. He wouldn't take the chance of cutting himself in order to spare me. Get out! I scream at him. No, I'm sorry, okay? Get the fuck out now! I spit, and he looks at me like he has no idea who I am. Maybe he hasn't. He hunches over and leaves the room. I slam the door behind him, going back out to the balcony. I sit down on the wicker chair and stare out at the sea, trying to calm myself. No tears come, only memories. Memories and regrets. And that line ruined the chapter. But, so, what did we learn here today, folks? If you ruin a girl's life, she'll still come back to you, because this is all them still fucking and fighting. And then Harden is like, I can't believe I fucked up again. Like, wow, that wasn't supposed to happen. And it's like, what? Yes, it was, because you did it. But okay. Wow, okay, looks like this review's finally getting to what I wanted it to be. I hadn't expected her to react half as bad as she did. It wasn't really the words she used towards me, it was the way she looked at me the whole time. That look said that she more than she ever could, and in turn scared me more than her words alone ever could. Why didn't you think she would have a bad reaction to that, Harden? What part of that in your head? Like, I really wish I could have seen what he was thinking when he first did that, because Anna leaves it out. I really wish I could have seen what Harden was thinking when he called up the realtor and was like, yo, this lady's a psychopath. You don't want to take her on because it's gonna look bad for you. Like, I really want to know his thought process, and I'm kind of sad we didn't see it, because, like, would it redeem him? No. But I want to see Anna try. I really want to see her try to redeem him making that decision in the moment. Because I want to know why she thought that was a good idea, and then to keep having them get together. I really just want to see it. So I found the part where Harden finds a random lesbian in the forest. I forget her name, so right now she's just lesbian 1. She's dating lesbian 2, who might be named Riley, but, like, do we care? No. Because these characters are so unnecessary. It's literally just adding to the runtime. Like, they're just walking through the woods, and Harden's like, oh, I'm sick of seeing trees. Like, then get out of the fucking forest, you idiot. Like, what else do you expect to see in the forest beside trees? Anyways, so this lesbian is like, I was just thinking that you seem like you're trying to escape from something or hide. I don't know. Never mind. Because, like, why do we need this person with so much wisdom? Like, why do we need this scene? We don't. We really don't need this scene. And then they find out, oh, we're going to dinner together tonight anyways. So, like, let's hang out until dinner. And then we have a useless Tessa chapter. And then, I have a go to Seattle note, and then a giant sigh. What is he going to do now? Because, what is it? Oh, so lesbian girl, whose name I don't see on the page, is like, my dad doesn't accept my girlfriend, and he's like, I feel bad for her father not accepting her relationship, but I have to admit, I'm extremely relieved. Harden Scott supports homophobia 2020. Let's see. And then it's Tessa's point of view, and they're going to dinner. And then they're walking in. Or what's happening? They're not going to dinner. I don't know what's happening. Where's the dinner? I just want to get to that part. We have another really short Tessa chapter. Oh. So Harden doesn't know the girl's name. He just calls her Tessa number 2. That's why her name's not in it. That's why I don't know what her name is. Because it's probably not until later that it comes up, but he's just calling her Tessa number 2, and I think lesbian number 1 is a better representation of that, because nobody wants to be Tessa number 2. So he's like, this is what happened, and she's like, you need to apologize to her. And he's like, what makes you assume I'll be apologizing anyways? And she's like, you're kidding, right? You owe her an apology. And that's why he calls her Tessa number 2. What is with Tessa and fucking Tessa number 2 and pestering me over Seattle? Maybe the fact that you're being an asshole about Seattle? That's why you're in this predicament, talking to a lesbian. I think they're in a bar now. Anyways. Oh, her name's Lillian, which is close to lesbian, and her girlfriend is Riley. Harden almost says boyfriend, and then he's like, wait, girlfriend, because he's trying to not be homophobic 2020. Let's see. I'm just trying to find the one part, so I'll be back. So we find out Harden doesn't want to go to Seattle because it's part of his old life, and his old life includes my life before you, the drinking, which he still does, the parties, fucking every girl that passed my way, which he, like, lies about. So, like, has he really stopped? Like, he doesn't lie, but, like, he lies about fucking girls to make Tessa jealous, like, the lesbians. There's no big secret, just bad memories, but that's not why I don't want to, oh, never mind. Okay, why do you need an explanation? I don't want to go, and I don't want you to go without me. But, like, here's the thing, is if, like, he was using his old life as an excuse. Also, I like that, he said that's the reason, and then he's like, that's not the reason, in, like, the same paragraph. That's funny. But, so here's the thing, is London, where he grew up, is a lot more of his old life, because that's where this behavior started, so why do you want to go to London? You just want to control Tessa. That's all it is. Anyways, I'm still looking for that dinner scene. Oh, we're on the same page, but I just got some good stuff. So, Tessa's like, I'm going to Seattle, and you know what? I don't want you to come with me anymore. And Harden's like, what? His eyes darken. I don't want you to come, I say as calm as possible, and stand up from the chair. I'm proud of myself for having this discussion without yelling. You tried to ruin this for me. This has been my dream since I can remember, and you tried to ruin it for me. You've turned something that I should be looking forward to into something that I can barely stand. I should be excited and ready to go meet my dreams, but instead, you've made sure I have nowhere to live and no support system at all. So no, I don't want you to go. And then they have an argument. This is the part where I just stopped reading for a couple of months. That's why it took me a year, because of this. So let's see. But being Harden, things never change, and he chooses the harder, uglier path instead. You know what, Tessa? No one gives a fuck about Seattle except someone like you. Who the hell grows up planning to move to Seattle fucking Washington? Real ambitious, he growls. He takes in a deep, violent breath. And in case you forgot, I'm the only reason you have that opportunity to begin with. You think anyone else is getting a paid fucking internship as a freshman in college? Fuck no. Most people struggle to get a paid internship even after they graduate. That's not even close to the fucking point here. I roll my eyes at him and the nerve he has. Then what is the point, you ungrateful? I take a step towards him and my hand flies at him before I can register what I'm doing. She's gonna hit him! But Harden's too quick and grabs me by the wrist. So now the fans can still technically say, well, they don't hit each other, so it's not abusive. Stopping me only inches from his cheek. Like, here's the thing. If someone makes you so mad that you're going to hit them, maybe you shouldn't date them. Just a thought. Don't, he warns. His voice is rough, laced with anger, and I wish he hadn't stopped me from slapping him. His minty breath fans across my cheek as he tries to control his temper. Bring it on, Harden, my thoughts challenge. I'm not intimidated by his harsh breathing and his foul words. I can give them back to him in spades. You don't get to talk to people like that without consequences. My words come out low, threatening even. This is my favorite part of the book! Consequences? He stares down at me with burning eyes. I've known nothing in my life but consequences. He brings my hand to his chest, his eyes never leaving mine. He says, you know nothing of consequences. Okay, so this is one of my favorite parts. Because, Harden, what fucking consequences have you had in your life? Tell me. Your mom shipped you off to America so you'd stop fucking girls and, like, getting them kicked out of their houses and then leaving them high and dry. You, I don't know, beat someone to the brink of death, and I don't think he gets expelled from college. I think he lies to Tessa that he does. So, like, first off, you're not getting expelled. You're not getting, like, shit from these girls in England. He should be in jail. Tessa's still with you. She keeps coming back to you. What consequences have you ever experienced? Besides, like, Tessa telling you you're a piece of shit for being a dick to her. Honestly. He's never, like, I marked this page by folding it so I could write in my rant about his consequences, but it's just so ridiculous that Harden, I've never had a consequence happen to me in my life, Scott, is like, I know nothing but consequences. Like, bitch, you don't. Because I've read the books. I have read them. You have not suffered a single consequence ever. There has never been an instance where, oh, Harden Scott is suffering a consequence. Like, even here, he fucks up Tessa's dreams, and then he's like, this is only happening because of me, so you should be grateful and do everything I say. He's saying that to her, but she still gets back with him. So no, Harden, you don't know what a fucking consequence is. Don't come at me with that shit. God. Oh, I hate this character more than anything. Anyways, I'm gonna find that dinner scene. Okay, I took a small break because I had other things to do, but we're back. And I found the part where Harden pretends to bang the lesbian. So, first off, Harden's like, who the fuck does she think she is? She thinks because I don't want to go to Seattle with her that she can say shit like this to me. She doesn't want me to fucking go, so this is a continuation before he pretends to bang the lesbian. She fucking uninvited me to Seattle, and she's the one trying to slap me? I don't fucking think so. I was only seeing red as I spoke, and her trying to hit me surprised me a lot. I left her with wide eyes, her pupils blown in rage, but I had to get as far from this bullshit as I could. But here's the thing. Harden, who is like, Tessa, I fucking hate you and your dreams, and I hope that you never succeed in life because it's not me helping you and it's not about me, so you don't deserve it, is like, how dare she get mad at me and uninvite me from Seattle, the place I don't want to go? How dare she uninvite me from the place I would rather die than go to? Like, have you seen who reads this and ships them. Anyway, so we're gonna skip that because I just don't care. I really don't care anymore. And then it's Tessa's point of view. They get to the dinner. Harden is there. This book killed my pen on this page, I can tell. So the lesbian, what's her name? Lillian? Is that what I said? Lillian is wearing the same dress as Tessa, and Harden is sitting right next to her, dressed in a white button-down. And then we get this like, look at how short this chapter is. This is how you know it was a fan fiction, because they didn't say, hey, Anna, either add to these or delete them, because this whole chapter, like, is probably just continued, like, it's probably the exact same thing from Tessa's point of view here. It's literally a page. And then it's, like, Tessa in that dress. That fucking dress that I was imagining her in. And it makes her already big chest look, fuck. I blink rapidly, trying to collect myself before she reaches the table. For a moment, I'm convinced that I'm hallucinating. It looks even sexier than I imagined. Every guy she passes turns to look at her, one even knocking over his drink. I grip the edge of the table, waiting for the asshole to speak to her. If he does, I swear to fuck. Is that Tessa? Oh my god, Lillian is practically panting. Stop staring at her, I warn, and she laughs. So Harden's even threatened by lesbians. He's scared that his straight girlfriend's gonna leave him for a girl. Let's see. Yeah, so we didn't need that point of view, literally. We didn't, like, the only part that we needed is the very end, where Tessa's looking at Harden and Lillian, the lesbian, in case I haven't said that enough to drill it into your heads. Before I know it, Tessa's eyes find Lillian, and they widen and lower. She's jealous. Good. I was hoping she'd be. So Harden's plan is to make Tessa jealous that he's with this other girl, just so... Well, I don't know why. Even when I was reading it, I was like, this makes no sense. So, Tessa's point of view. Panic courses through me at the sight of Harden sitting next to this girl. He doesn't even acknowledge my presence as I take a seat next to Landon on the other side of the table from him. And it's just, like, really awkward. And it's like, there's so much girl hate because, like, Lillian's being nice because she doesn't know what's going on. She's like, Lily, I'm Lillian, it's nice to meet you. And she's smiling at Tessa friendly, and Tessa's like, this bitch? Like, literally, it's just bitch. And she's like, you too, I manage in return. Like, why? Okay, girl hate comes up later. I'm gonna talk about it a bit more, about how Tessa's just not allowed to have female friends who aren't, like, in their 40s. But this book, like, it's weird, because Anna Todd is, like, really into feminism. I follow her on Facebook for some reason. I really should just unfollow her, but sometimes I like to laugh at how, like, she's, like, girls supporting girls, yet could not write that in her novel at all. Like, it's just weird to me. Like, I don't know, I feel like if you're promoting this much girl hate, this much slut-shaming in the novels you're writing, which is the product you're putting out into the world, in a way where we're not supposed to hate the people doing the slut-shaming, because we're supposed to like Tessa. And we're supposed to agree sometimes, like, yeah, that girl's a slut because she slept with your boyfriend. And your boyfriend's not a slut because he slept with, like, 10 other people in this room, but that one girl who, like, had a consensual one-night stand with him is a slut because she's a girl? You know? It just feels weird that then you would go on your social media and be like, girls need to support girls. Like, why don't they? Like, I don't know. Maybe because they read your books and they think that's okay. But maybe that's just me. Like, I've vowed, the only book I'm ever gonna have slut-shaming in is books like Magic, where I'm making fun of things like this, which, if you haven't seen Like Magic, it's in the description, in that little eye icon on whatever side of the screen it's on, and on my profile. Me and my friend Will worked really hard on writing a novel, and then reading it for people, so it'd be really cool if people actually checked it out and stopped lying to me about it, but we're not there. That doesn't matter. It's fine. But, like, only in books like that, where we're making fun of books like After, would have slut-shaming. Like, I would like to think that if I'm trying to make you hate a character, I would be above something so petty and damaging in real life, you know? Especially for people who don't deserve it. Like, Tessa is judging Lillian when she should be like, Harden, you whore! But she's never like that. Even when he's telling her, like, I fucked so many girls, she's like, those sluts who slept with you. And it's just really weird. So, yeah. Anyways. So, I don't know what's happening. To hurt, like, his plan is literally just to hurt her. What is the red flag? I wrote red flag. Oh, so there's this waiter named Robert, and he asks, does he know he's your boyfriend? About Harden. And she's like, I'm beginning to wonder the same thing, because she thinks he's sleeping with Lillian, because she doesn't know she's a lesbian. And then, I don't know, she hangs out with, what's-his-face? Robert. And Harden gets mad at her for that. He's like, what are you doing? You're dating me. And she's like, who are you sitting next to at dinner? And Harden's like, she's just a friend. He never tells her Lillian's gay. That's the thing. Yeah, so here it is, literally. Let's go. This is Harden. He says again to me at last, I'm not going, I tell him, backing away. But I do turn to Robert and say, can you give us a minute, please? He nods slowly, giving Harden one last glare before walking back inside. So what? You're going to fuck the waiter now? Harden grimaces. I step back even further, willing myself not to break under his stare. Would you just stop already? We both know how this will go. You'll keep insulting me, I'll walk away. You'll come after me, telling me you won't be rude anymore. We'll go back to the cabin and sleep together. So to anyone saying that they don't fucking do that, it's right there. To the people that say, no, this book's not repetitive, they don't just fucking make up and argue and fucking make up. She admits it right there in the text. We both know how this will go, which means it's happened enough for it to just be their cycle. That's all these books are. Harden laughs and he says, wrong. I won't be doing that. It seems you've forgotten how it really goes. You throw a fit over something I say. You walk away, and I only come after you so I can fuck you. And you always let me. Can we circle that as well? Romance. That's true romance right there. To my boyfriend, if you're watching this, why don't we do this? Do you really love me? I can't tell. Thank you for being normal and, like, not abusive. That's really nice of you. Let's see. And then I don't care about the rest of that. But then we get chapter 40, which is Harden point of view. And he's like, I wanted to hurt her, to make her feel like shit. The way that I felt when I looked up from the table to see her laughing. She was fucking laughing when she should have been sitting across from me. I've never seen that word in my life. Viving? V-Y-I-N-G? I've never seen that word in my life. I'm gonna question mark. Like, this is just a flaw on me. I don't know what that word means. Anyways, I'll Google it later. It was like she didn't give a fuck about me getting close to Lillian. She was too focused on the fucking waiter and whatever the hell he was saying. And it's like, boo, boo, sad boy hour, blah, 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 Harden, we get it. But also the point is, Harden was only pretending to be with Lillian to make Tessa mad. And then she didn't get mad because she's like, you know what? I'm done with him. I'm gonna chat with this dude and have a good time. They weren't, like, I don't remember if they were flirting. I don't think I picked up on any of that. But, like, Harden is like, Tessa, why aren't you letting me piss you off again? I'm flirting with a lesbian just to piss you off. Pay attention to me. Wait, why are you mad? Because, and I drew a little, like, that's my art. And then, let's see. So my mind began to shift through hateful thoughts, trying to pick one that would sure break her down. He's trying to think of something to say to Tessa to break her. Are you listening to what I'm saying? 'Cause... What? Anyways. Lillian's statement from this morning popped in and warmed my anger, so I said it before I could stop myself. There is a big difference between not being able to live without someone and loving them. Oh, so I guess he says that to her. in the chapter before. Yeah, it's right there. So he says that to her. He says that, like, you just can't live without me or whatever. So that's romantic, I guess. I almost wanted to take them back. Almost. She deserved them. She really does. She shouldn't have said that she didn't want me to go to Seattle with her. She says I turned on her. I didn't turn on her. I am feeling rage. I'm here for her, on her side. Then why did you ruin her chances of going to Seattle? I'm so happy my dad's not home. I hope he left. She's the one trying to leave me every damn chance she gets. Because you're crazy! Are you listening to yourself on this page? You're like, what can I say to this girl to make her hurt? How can I hurt her with my words? But also, she's the asshole because she wants to follow her dreams. Are you guys reading the same book as me? Because what the ever-living fuck? Just gonna make sure. Okay, it looks like my dad's gone. This is what a breakdown feels like. So, everyone is like, Harden, what did you do now? Oh, right, here, I wrote, you did turn on her. You literally tried to ruin her move because you're a controlling, selfish asshole who doesn't care about Tessa. And then, good God, like, look, these are, to all my friends who I keep trying to pressure to read after, you get to see gems like whatever these are. Let's see. Who is she talking about? Who is he talking to now? I think Lillian? Oh. So he's like, I don't give a shit what she thinks. This is about Tessa. I hope she's thinking that I'm gonna fuck you. He says that to the lesbian. She stops walking. Why? If you love her, why would you want her to think that? Oh, lovely. Now Lillian is turning on me too. I turn to face her. Because she needs to learn that... She holds up one hand. Stop. Just stop there. Because she doesn't need to learn anything. It seems to me that you're the one who needs to be learning something. What did you say to the poor girl? Thank you! But still, this character is useless. Sure, see, she says a couple smart things to Harden, but, like, her whole character is useless. But thank you! Harden's like, she needs to learn a lesson. What lesson are you teaching her by tricking her into thinking you're fucking a lesbian? Nothing! That's not a lesson! That's just being an asshole! I said what you said to me this morning about there being a difference between not being able to live without someone and loving them, I tell her. She shakes her head in confusion. You said that to her? As in you can't live without her but don't love her? Yes. I did! Wait, yes, did I not just tell you that? Tessa number 2 needs to just go away because she's getting on my last fucking nerve like the Tessa the original. Oh my god, I wish I was dating Harden Scott. I would commit manslaughter. Whoa, she says, and laughs. She's laughing at me too? What? What's so funny? I nearly yell. You're so clueless, she mocks me. When I said that to you this morning, I wasn't referring to you. I was talking about her. I mean that just because you think she can't leave without you doesn't mean that she's in love with you. What? You assume that you have her so wrapped around your finger. Oh, I can't read that word because I scratched. Oh, that. Okay, I circled it a little too violently. There's a rip in the page. You assume that you have her so wrapped around your finger that she won't leave you because she can't live without you, when in reality it seems like you have her trapped and that's why she won't leave you. Not because she loves you, but because you've made her feel like she can't be without you. Is that not, like, the textbook definition of abuse? Like, is that not what it is? Aren't abusers the one who are like, well, you can go out into the world, but without me, you're nothing. Like, that's literally the textbook definition. Anyways, I'll just leave that in the air. No, she loves me. I know she does. And that's why she'll be following me out here any moment now. Lillian throws her arms wide. Does she? Why would you when you do things to hurt her on purpose? Right? God, like, this is the only reason Lillian's an okay character, but this drama also didn't need to happen, so I'm just gonna keep saying it. She didn't need to be in this book, because does Harden learn anything from her? No. He doesn't. So it's useless. It's just to pad the runtime. And then Harden is like, your girlfriend is probably fucking someone else right now, and you're here trying to play couples therapy between Tessa and me. And it's like, Harden, why would you say that? You're the one who just pretended to be fucking a lesbian so your girlfriend would be mad at you. What did he expect from that? God, I'm yelling too much. I need my water. What I need is that vodka. Jeez. But what? Okay. Sexy. Love a man like this. And then Lillian starts leaving and Harden's like, where are you going? And she says, back inside. Tessa may be stupid enough to put up with your crap, but I'm not. Even though she has for way too long. And then Lillian comes up to Tessa in her point of view and she's like, can I talk to you? What is there for us to talk about? Everything is pretty clear to me. I take a big gulp from my cup, letting the cool wine fill my mouth. God, I wish I had wine right now. Unexpectedly, she doesn't respond to my attitude. She just walks over to us and says flatly, I'm gay. What? If Robert's clear blue eyes hadn't been focused on me, I'd have spit the wine back into my cup. I look from him to her and swallow slowly. It's true. I have a girlfriend. Harden and I are only friends. She frowns. If you would even call us that, who would want to be his friend? Like, did you hear anything I just read? Why would you want to be friends with that asshole? But okay. I know that look. He must have just told her off. Then why? Is she being honest? But you guys were all over each other. No, he was being a little touchy-feely, I guess you'd say. Like when he put his arm around my chair, but he was only doing it to make you jealous. Why would he do that? On purpose, I asked, but I know the answer. To hurt me, of course. I told him to tell you, I'm sorry you thought that something was going on between us. It's not. I'm in a relationship with a girl. I roll my eyes and hold my cup out for Robert for more wine. You seem pretty comfortable going along with it, I remark harshly. Because we can't just have girls be friends in this book unless they're, like, fully fledged adults with Tessa, and that's really only, like, 2 of them. With honest, pleading eyes, she says, this wasn't my intention. I wasn't really paying attention to what he was doing. I'm so sorry if you were hurt by all this. And then, I'm fumbling for reasons to tell this girl off, but I can't come up with any. Lillian being gay is a huge relief to me, and I wish I'd known sooner. But it really doesn't change much with Harden. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. It should make it worse. Because he was trying to make you think he was fucking someone he would never be able to fuck, just to make you jealous. If anything, it makes his behavior worse. Okay, there we go. Because he was purposely trying to make me jealous, and then up to the ante by saying the most hateful things he could think of to me. Watching him flirt with her didn't hurt nearly as bad as hearing him tell me that he didn't love me. Blah, 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 and that's basically that scene that I really wanted to just rant about. I'm happy I read basically the whole thing to you. But yeah, so that happens. What consequences does Harden have? I don't know. Him and Tessa get back together. So, I don't even remember what my point was with bringing this one up. I think it was just so I could rant about it. But, like, isn't that stupid? Imagine being a lesbian and, like, meeting Harden Scott and then having to spend time with him. Like, that's gross already. But then he's pretending to fuck you just so he can make his girlfriend jealous. Like, hello? Anna Todd, this isn't good representation of the gays. I just gotta say, I really hope people are offended. I was watching one review and the person was really happy that there was a lesbian, but I just think, like, oh joy, now, like, they are a part, like, now the LGBTQ community is a part of this dumpster fire. Like, they didn't deserve to be these people in this book, you know? So, on to the next thing. So we're still when they're at the cabin. Tessa gets drunk because she's upset, even though she's underage. So I don't know how she, like, got into the bar. But anyway, so she's drunk and Harden comes and gets her and blah, blah, blah. I don't really know. But Harden is carrying her. I had a note that says talk about this in review. So I guess he's, like, carrying her and he was like, I would do anything for you, Tessa. You shouldn't be surprised that I'd carry you up a damn driveway. And then she just laughs. Because she's so drunk. Keep in mind, Tessa's wasted. So drunk. She is so drunk she can't really walk. Keep that in mind. Because you know what's coming up. You'll do anything for me except go to Seattle, marry me, or have children with me? Even in my drunkenness, the irony is not lost on me. Don't start with me. We're too drunk to have this conversation right now. Oh, so is he drunk too? Maybe they're both drunk. I don't know. But then, she's like, I'm not having sex with you. And he says, and why is that? Keep in mind, they just had their Seattle fight. Like, literally, the shit where he was like, I don't love you is... Let's see. Well, okay, we'll just go from this. Their Seattle fight, where he, like, calls the lady, starts... God, I don't know where. But it's, like, under... It's not even that far apart. The part where Harden's like, I know what consequences are, happens, like, maybe under 100 pages. So they were, like, fighting there. There we go. So page 218 is when Harden is like, I don't love you, I just can't live without you. And then 270 is when they're banging. So, like, in between that, there's more fighting, them getting drunk, more arguments, and now they're having sex. And that's all this book is. So he says, and why is that? And she's like, because I'm upset with you. And he's like, so I'm upset with you too. Why is he upset with her? He does not have a right to be upset with Tessa. Like, Tessa could, I don't know, stab his mom, and Harden still wouldn't be able to be upset with her because of all of the shit he's put her through. You know? Anyways. Why would you be? I didn't do anything. Your little, oh, she danced at a bar. Your little show in the bar was enough to send me into the fucking madhouse. Not to mention the fact that you were parading around town with that fucking waiter. You disrespected me in front of everyone by staying with him. Says the guy who pretended to be fucking a lesbian. His tone is threatening, but his lips are soft as they travel down my neck. I want you so bad. I wanted you at that shitty bar after watching you dance like that. I wanted to take you into the bathroom and fuck you up against the wall. He presses himself against me and I can feel how hard he is. As much as I want him, I can't allow him to blame everything on me. I close my eyes, relishing the feeling of his hands on me, his lips on me. You are the one. I can't form a solid thought, let alone make a sentence. Stop it. And then he's like, offended. You don't want me? Of course I do. I always do. It's just, I'm supposed to be mad. Be mad tomorrow, he says with that evil grin of his. I always do that. I need to. Shh. He covers my mouth with his lips and kisses me hard. My lips part and he takes full advantage. And I'm gonna just stop reading it there because I think her saying stop it and him saying be mad at me tomorrow and then just kissing her before she can say something is just what you need to know about this scene. And then they have sex. Just kidding, they don't sleep together because Harden finds out that Tessa got the waiter's number, so he yells at her. And then she's like, if you're gonna yell at me, save your breath. I'm done fighting with you every single day. And he's like, you do this. You're the one that constantly enrages me. It's your fault that I'm like this. And you know it. Isn't that also textbook abuse? Them blaming you for their actions? Nah, that sounds like romance. That was sarcasm. No, it's not. I struggle to keep my voice down. You can't blame everything on me. We both make mistakes. No, you make mistakes. A shit ton of them, and I'm sick of it. You think I want to be this way? Fuck no. You do this to me. And then he's like, go cry. And then he calls her a selfish bitch. And then it's like, you don't love me. You want to possess me and I won't let you. Obviously, she keeps her word. Why is this book over 800 fucking pages? Is my note. Yeah, and then she just, like, walks out. Okay, so I guess I was wrong that they didn't bang. But, like, why is it so repetitive? Like, why do people find it, like, how do people not see that they're abusive? Ah! Anyways. Tessa tells Harden that he's a drunk, and he says, what did you say? And any trace of sympathy drops from his face. His eyes, he eyes me like a predator, starts circling me. I just hope you guys know, men aren't supposed to act like this. A majority of them don't. So if yours is, dump him. Wait, this is the part. I'm not a fucking drunk. I had stopped drinking altogether until you came along. You can't blame me for everything, Harden. I'm not blaming you for the drinking, Tessa, even though he just did. Romance. So now we move on to the most... Like, it's... God, how do I even explain this part? This is the stupidest part of this book, okay? In this little section, I will put it in the description where this part starts and where it ends in case you want to skip it. Tessa almost gets, like, raped. She's drugged at a party and then almost raped. So, trigger warning for this section, if you're sensitive to that. I will put the timestamps in the bottom for when like, right now and for when it ends. So, I'll also, because I'm filming this review out of order, now that I actually know what I'm doing for it. So, in the beginning, I will also say that it's down below. So you probably already know that, so maybe you've already skipped this. But anyways, so Tessa's at her going away party. The lights are dancing, everything's moving funny, and Zed is like, oh my god, he's there. And he's like, oh, you're drugged. But he doesn't, like, come out and say that. And then he leaves her alone. First off, so this scene is not treated with the respect that you should treat a sexual assault scene with. It's really disgusting how Anna Todd wrote this scene and had it play out and then had it affect the characters in the book. And by affect the characters in the book, I mean Tessa was upset about it for a minute and then stopped caring, and then Harden had a dream where Tessa kissed Zed and that was given more trauma than Tessa getting sexually assaulted and, like, seconds away from being raped. So I just want to say that. Unfortunately, I do have to go read some of these parts to you, because it's not just that that's stupid. Okay? It's using rape as a plot device, but also, going back to what I said earlier about Tessa not being able to have any female friends, Steph, who has shown no sign of hating Tessa, who has been her ish friend this whole series, is the one who orchestrates it. Because we can't have girls liking each other in this series. We're not allowed to. Girl power, they don't know her. So, unfortunately, I do want to go in depth with this scene. A different review I watched kind of glossed over it, just said it was a disturbing thing. I'm gonna go into a little more depth, because I think we need to talk about that. So here we go. So this scene is happening because it needs to happen so Dan can get his revenge on Harden for, like, fucking his sister and videotaping it and sending it out to people. Which, is, like, illegal distribution of porn, and I'm pretty sure you can get arrested for that too. So Harden, there's another thing you didn't have a consequence for. Unfortunately, Tessa's the one suffering the consequence of your action there, Not you, Tessa. Because so the plan is Dan and Steph are going to have Tessa, like, they're going to rape her, sexually assault and rape her, film it and show it to Harden so he'll hate her and then break up with her and date Steph. That's their plan. Is it needed in this story? No. Especially because it doesn't go anywhere. At least in this book, there's no trauma. Tessa's fine. After a couple of days, she's fine. No one even takes her to the hospital, even though she's so drugged, she's, like, passed out. Which, like, I don't know. Aren't you supposed to take people who could be overdosing to the hospital? Because, like, she could be. They don't know, because no one takes her to the hospital. Anyways, so Steph finds her, or Dan finds her, and he's like, hey, are you okay? Like, obviously acting out. And then he brings her upstairs to a room, and he, like, locks the door, and then Steph comes in, and Tessa feels relief. She's like, oh, thank God. Like, Steph's here, I'm safe. Dan can't do whatever he's trying to do. And she looks at Dan, who gives her a sinister smile. Looking back at me, she simply says, doing what? Steph, I call for her again. I need her to help me leave this haunted room. Stop whining, she snaps, and I lose my breath. What? I managed to say. And then she, like, digs her hand through a bag that she has, and she's like, God, do you ever shut up? I'm so sick of hearing you bitch and complain all the damn time, which, like, that's how I feel about Harden, but also, I can't say, wow, relatable, because this scene's disgusting and nothing about this should be happening. My brain isn't working correctly. Steph can't be saying these things to me. She rolls her eyes. Ugh. And that what am I trying to say? That stupid innocent pout. Like, give it a fucking rest already. After a couple more seconds of digging, she says, found it, here. She hands a small object to Dan. I almost fade out, but the little beep brings me back to consciousness. For at least a few more seconds. So, she's that drugged and no one takes her to the hospital. They just take her to her mom, but it's fine. And, what did you do? I ask her, and she laughs. Didn't I tell you to stop whining? You'll be fine. I hate reading this. There's a camera in Dan's hand. Get away from me, Tessa says. I thought you... Steph puts her hand on my shoulders and pushes me back against the mattress. I can't get back up. I'm so sorry I have to read this. I'm really uncomfortable. You thought what? I was your friend? She kneels on the bed, hovering over me, and then she starts taking off her dress. You were too busy being a whore going back and forth between Zed and Harden to realize that I've always despised you. Don't you think if I really gave a shit about you, I would have told you that Harden was only dating you to win a bet? Don't you think a friend would have warned you? Like, no. Because you weren't really a friend, you were just kind of her roommate. But after that, you, like, begged for her forgiveness. You could have just dropped her in book 2. But instead, we had you come back. And then Anna Todd was sitting at her computer one day going, what should I add to my One Direction fanfiction? Or she was at work. She wrote it at work a lot. So she was at work, like, what should I add to my One Direction fanfiction? I know, more girl hate and an almost rape scene, but since I don't really want to deal with the almost rape scene, I'm just gonna drop it once it happens. And, so... She's right, and once again, my idiocy is glaringly obvious. The sting of betrayal is multiplied by the fuzziness in my head, and when I look at Steph now, the red-haired devil, her face is twisted, distorted in the most evil way imaginable, and the glow of her dark eyes sends a chill through me. And then we find out, so in the second book, someone texted Tessa that Harden, like, as Harden, saying, oh, I'm coming for a birthday cake, I don't want to be at my party anymore. So Tessa gets all excited, and then Harden doesn't show up. We were led to believe it was Zed. It was actually Steph. Which I feel like is just another cop-out. Like, I just feel like it's... Anna was writing this scene and thought, oh, that's good. Like, this scene just does not feel planned. It feels like it came out of nowhere, because it did. And, like, do you know how triggering that is? Do you know how horrible that scene is? Like, God... And then, like, Steph slaps her at some point, and she's like, help me get the dress off. And then Molly comes in, and Molly's like, wait, you didn't say we were gonna rape her. Like, literally, no way, hell no, dude, you can't have him rape her, Molly shouts, even though she was, like, in on them drugging and assaulting her, I think. Oh, I thought you were only taking some pictures of her. And Steph's like, nah, we're doing a video, and then she says that, so that's gross. He's not. Jesus. I'm not, like, psychotic. He's just going to touch her and make it look like they're fucking, so that when Harden sees the tape, he'll fucking lose it. Just picture his face when he sees his innocent little whore of a girlfriend getting fucked by Dan. Like, even their plan doesn't make any sense. It's like, yeah, let's piss Harden off, the guy that almost killed Zed, for being nice to Tessa. Let's piss Harden off to Tessa, who's not, like, being murdered after this, so Tessa can be like, yeah, it was Steph and Dan, they assaulted me. Like, why do they want to make Harden mad? He's gonna kill them. I wish he had. Later on, he sees Steph in a store, and he's like, I don't hit girls. And it's like, dude, you need to stop pretending to be a feminist. Like, you really need to stop pretending to be a feminist, and you need to slap her, like, for everything she did. You need to hurt that woman. You need to call the police. No one called the police throughout this. Like, Tessa was drugged! And then Molly's like, I'm into pissing him off, but you can't tape this shit. And then Steph's like, you sound like Tessa. And then Molly's like, I don't know about this anymore. So Molly leaves and gets Tristan, who's Steph's boyfriend, and I think Zed, and then she calls Harden to be like, hey, this is happening. So that's kind of what happens. Like, Tristan is there banging on the door. Also, like, they made Steph, I don't know if she's bisexual or just a lesbian in the movie, but she's not dating a man, so I'm really, like, I just feel like that's worse. You know? Like, not only is Lillian the gay representation this series gets, but now they have Steph, and people who only watch the movie and go, oh cool, I can't wait to see her nice queer roommate, they're gonna read this book, and it's gonna shock them. Like, I think that was a really stupid move, making a villain of the series who's straight into a homosexual. I think that's, like, if she was already gay in the books, then it would have been like, okay, like, it was already iffy, but, you know, it's just weirder. But again, they tried to change, I think they're changing the plot, because I don't think you could have this in that movie. Because, you know, it's not a sexy sex scene, it's a rape, sexual assault scene. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So while Tristan is knocking on the door, that's where I was, they're still trying to film and, like, touch Tessa. And then Tessa says he's gonna hurt you about, like, Harden, and Dan's like, nah, he won't. He'll want to make sure no one sees this, so he won't do shit. This is the way the world works. So here's the thing. They think Harden's not gonna hurt him, so the video of them assaulting Tessa, where she's on camera saying, stop, Harden's gonna kill you, stop doing this to me, is gonna, like, they're gonna release it, and they think that's gonna look bad on Harden. That's their plan. Harden won't, he's not gonna beat us up, because if he does, then we'll release this video that's evidence of us assaulting you, and he'll get in trouble, or he'll be judged. Like, that's their plan. Do you see why I think Anna Todd just pulled this out of her ass? And then I even wrote, like, wait, is she recording? Harden will hear the audio. Like, it's not like they're not using audio. He's gonna hear Steph be like, Harden is a dick, and he's always fucking with people. He fucked with Dan's sister, he fucked with me, he led so many girls on, fucked them and tossed them aside, until you, that is. Why he likes you so much will never make any sense to me. Like, they're explaining why they're doing this in a video that's going to have audio. And they think that they're not going to get in trouble for that? God, I really hope in the next book they get in trouble for this. And then Zed shows up, and Tristan is in there, and he's like, what the hell is wrong with you, to Steph? And she's like, chill out, dude, it was a joke. He's like, a joke? You put something in her drink and you're up here with a video camera while Dan tries to fucking rape her? That's not a goddamn joke. Or who's saying that? Zed's saying that, and Tristan's like, you're doing what? And then Tristan is like, we're over. And Steph is like, no, babe, I'm not a villain. She gets to fuck Harden and I don't. Babe. It was a prank. No one was gonna hurt her. No, baby, it's not as bad as it seems. It was Dan's idea. And then Dan's like, what the fuck? No, it wasn't. It was yours. It was her idea. And everyone's just pointing fingers. And Tessa is just, like, on the bed, almost, like, passed out because she's drugged. And then Zed drives her to her mom's house. And so Zed is like, I'm gonna call Harden as soon as I get you into my truck, okay? And he's like, wrapped her in a blanket. And Tessa says, no, don't. Harden, and she thinks this part, Harden will be so mad at me. The last thing I want is to be screamed at while I can barely keep my eyes open. So here's the thing that this scene also reveals, is that Tessa is so scared of Harden getting mad at her that she doesn't want to be like, hey, I was almost sexually assaulted. You're the man I'm supposed to love. I need you. She's too scared to say that because she thinks he's going to yell at her for it. If that, like, hello? The person you're dating should be the person you can go to and be like, hey, something horrible happened to me. I need you to be my rock. Like, she should be able to say that to him and she shouldn't have to worry about him yelling at her. But she is. And that's the romance. That's their relationship. She's too scared to be like, hey, I was just assaulted, because she's scared that he's gonna yell at her about it. Also, like, her mom totally victim blames her, but I have to find that part, so I will be back, and I am so sorry that this is already 12 minutes long. Right, then we get Harden's point of view. He goes to the frat house to try and find her because he doesn't know that she left yet. So Harden keeps having these nightmares based off his childhood trauma where these guys raped his mom in front of him. Anyway, so he has nightmares about that, but with Tessa in the place of his mom. And in his point of view, he's like, this is it. This is what hell feels like. Knowing that she was in this mess because of me. She could have been raped because of me. Just like in my dreams, and I wasn't there to stop her. Just like I wasn't able to stop it from happening to my mom. So it's also like, okay, that scene feels like it came out of Anna Todd's ass, but is she also just adding it so it can be like, oh, look at how Harden's trauma that we don't really ever deal with properly is coming to life. Like, it just feels like this whole scene, like, it did not need to happen. We did not need this. And now it's like, oh, did it only happen so it can be like, look at how it relates to his dreams. Harden's right, like, if he leaves her, bad stuff's gonna happen. Like, I don't know. But it... Sorry, it looked like there was a stain. But it just did not, like, we didn't need it. We really did not need this scene, especially with how it's handled in a little bit. So, first off, Zed apparently knows what she was drugged with. And he's like, the effects usually wear off in 12 hours. It's only been 3. And still, they're at her mom's house, and no one's been like, hey, let's bring her to a hospital in case she needs her fucking stomach pumped. I don't know what it's like when someone is overdosing, and I don't think they do either, so, you know, you should probably bring her to a hospital just in case. Is that not a good thing to do? What if she wants to press charges? Like, you need to go to, like, the hospital. Just take her to the hospital. She's, like, passed out on the couch. She can't move. Take her to a hospital. Anyways, so Tessa's mom says, how could she be so stupid? And then he's like, who, Steph? No, Teresa. How could she be so stupid to associate with those people? And Zed says, it wasn't her fault. It was supposed to be a going away party. Tessa thought that girl was her friend. Friend? Please. Tessa should know better than to try to be friends with that girl, or any of you for that matter. So her mom victim blames her. And still, Anna Todd does not kill the mom, like, ever. No disrespect to you or anything, but you don't know me. I did just drive 2 hours to bring your daughter here, Zed politely responds, and not to a hospital? Where's their school? I don't remember, like, Washington? Is there no hospital in Washington? I don't know where the school is. But, like, there has to be a hospital nearby. If not, there's probably, like, an emergency clinic. And if not, take her to a vet. I'm sure they sort of know how to deal with things that have been ingested that shouldn't. Like, why did you drive 2 hours? Like, what if she died in your back seat? Holy shit. And then, Tessa's mom is like, hey, you can leave. And then Harden shows up. And then she's like, why are you here? And then, I don't care. So, yeah. We're just gonna kind of end it there. Well, we're not, because I have more comments. But I'm gonna stop reading from the book. So, after that, like, Harden makes it to her. She's still drugged. I think then he, like, waits overnight or something to see her. Or he has Landon drive him out. I can't really remember, and I'm just tired of looking through that. For this scene, I remember he sees Zed, like, getting to his car. Like, I think Harden gets there when Zed's leaving, and Harden's like, I feel rage. And he's more mad seeing Zed than he was when he saw, like, Dan. At least in the descriptions. He's more mad when he sees Zed than when he sees Steph later. So that's part of why it feels like she just pulled the scene out of her ass for cheap drama. Because, again, Harden's not reacting to the people who did it in the way he should. Instead, he's mad at Zed. He's like, you fucking drove her? You put her in a car? And not my car? You asshole, stay away from her. And then when he sees Steph, like, he's like, he sees red when he sees Zed. When he sees Steph, he's like, you better get out of my way or I'm gonna hurt you. And then in his internal dialogue, he's like, but I don't hit women. So, get your priorities straight, Harden, because Jesus Christ, that's not it. Oh, and then there's a scene where Tessa's mom goes to church. Tessa stays home because she's not in the mood for church because she was just drugged. In case you forgot. Because her mom seemed to. And then Noah comes over to check in on her. And Harden comes at that point and he's like, why is Noah here? Like, Harden, can you stop being jealous for 1 second? Tessa went through a trauma. Let her find comfort in people. Because all you're doing is getting pissy at all these things. Like, no wonder she thought you were gonna yell at her for this. You're doing it to, like, everyone else. Except for, like, even the people involved, but, like, not as much. It's weird. So, yeah, that scene was just really useless. Yeah. Really bad job at handling that. And I will bring it... I have one more comment on this. I have to just find the part. It's when Harden has that nightmare where Tessa kisses Zed, and then they're about to have sex, and Harden... Well, I can just explain it. I don't need to read it. Harden is like, no, don't wait, I can't touch you because I'm traumatized from that dream. And Tessa, who was almost raped, is like, well, you can touch me. Here's my body. And Harden has a dream, and he's like, I can't do it anymore, Tessa. I don't know if I can be touched by you because I had a dream where you kissed someone else that didn't actually happen in real life. So, that's fun. Right, I'll just say this one. So during the phone sex, Tessa's unsure about doing it at first, and Harden just says, do it. The authority in his voice makes me squirm. While my mind and my hormones battle it out. I can't deny the idea of Harden coaxing me through this over the phone. Naming the dirty things he wants to do to me raises the temptation... what am I trying to read? Temperature of the room at least 10 degrees. But he's like... She's just unsure about doing it, and he's like, do it. And then he says, okay, now that you've submitted, and, like, they're not in a dominant submissive relationship, so it's just really weird that he says that. Anyways, I just thought since we're on the topic of weird, like, inappropriate sex scenes, He also says, I'll take the nervous silence as a yes. Nervous silence as a yes? You need to take a lesson on consent, Harden. There's a scene later where he visits her in Seattle, and he, goes to a bar with her, and he's like, no, I'm not drinking anymore, because he's trying to get sober, because he's an alcoholic. But you can drink, and he gets her drunk, and then they go bang, even though she's drunk and he's 100% sober. Okay, so we're on to the dream. I found the dream. So, oh, they're fucking in his dream. Okay. So, Zed and Tessa are banging in Harden's dream, and they say, I love you, and then he wakes up and grabs a glass from the nightstand. With a crash, it shatters against the wall, and I wrote, Harden is the kind of guy to accuse her of cheating over a dream. I hope he does, and I said that as a joke, because I really didn't want him to. And then later on, he's too scared to touch her, because he's so traumatized from his dream, unlike her from her assault. Right, so Zed's supposed to be visiting Tessa in Seattle, and Harden's like, you need to call him and tell him that you're not to see him, because I had a bad dream. So here's the thing, is Tessa was assaulted, and then she was like, I'm okay, I'm fine. And Harden has a dream, and he's like, you need to stop seeing him, because I'm paranoid and need therapy. Also, I can't touch you when we're gonna bang, because I'm paranoid and need therapy. And also, I just really need therapy, and he just needs therapy. We are on page 492, and Tessa feels jealous over Lillian still. Like, she doesn't care about Lillian because she was so jealous that Lillian and Harden might have been fucking, even though Lillian's gay and would not have fucked a man. And we are, like, 300 pages away from that scene. 200? I don't remember. I can't do math. But we're so far away from that scene. Why is she still jealous? What is with this book and not letting women like each other? Good God. Right, so Lillian's dad is cheating on her mom with some girl named Sasha, and Harden is like, a whore is a whore is a whore, because she's helping a man cheat. They're not really judging the man as much as they are the woman, keep in mind. Even though, what was that book one? I don't have it with me, someone's still borrowing it, but like, what's that book one? What did you say? Tessa's a cheater? Which means she's a whore is a whore is a whore? Also, Harden, you were that woman once. You were the woman that helped a lady, well, you were a man who helped a lady cheat on her boyfriend, which means you and Sasha are one and the same, but okay, go off, I guess. So Harden's being distant to Tessa, and she's like, I have to know why, and it's literally because of the dream he had. And I wrote, I love that Anna ran out of drama for the book, so she made Harden overreact to a dream. Harden, not Tessa, who was almost raped. Where did the plot go? Where did that plot go? Huh? Because we're like page 500, and that was, I don't remember where. Like, in the 300s. So, like, 330 to 500, the plot's just dropped. And then we get this Harden overreacting to a dream. Where is it? Here we go. Where does it start? You actually think that I'm not attracted to you anymore. He opens his mouth to continue, but suddenly closes it again and sits silently. It has crossed my mind, I admit. The padded flooring has suddenly become fascinating as I stare down. They're in a gym. They're in Vance's private gym in his mansion in Seattle. That's fucking insane, he begins. Look at me. I can't begin to fathom why you would ever consider the notion that I'm not attracted to you, Tessa. Well, I guess I can see why you would think that because of how I acted earlier, but it's not true. That literally could not be further from the fucking truth. Damn it, I missed the scene. Oh well. Then what is it? You're gonna think I'm fucking morbid. Why? Tell me, please. Just hear me out before you get mad, okay? So she's probably thinking, oh god, he cheated on me. With a corpse. Because I don't know why it would be morbid. And he's like, I had this dream. Well, a nightmare, actually. And she's like, go on. And she's worried, because she knows he has nightmares. And he's like, about you and Zed. What do you mean, I ask? Which, it sounds like a magic quote. Woohoo! He was at my apartment, and I came home to find him between your legs. You were moaning his name, and, okay, I get it. And he's like, no, let me tell you. And she's uncomfortable. And he's like, you said that you loved him in the dream, and then, I don't know, they like kiss or something, and it's just stupid. Oh, no, wait. It's stuck in my head. I can't stop from replaying it. He was fucking taunting me the entire time, smirking as he fucked you. And she's like, why do you think you had that dream? It's like, probably because he's a jealous bitch. And it's like, I don't want him near you. I know it's fucked up, but I don't give a shit. Honestly, Zed is the line for me. It will always be that way. No amount of kickboxing will change that. Weird place or not, you are only for me. Not just sexually, but eternally. Entirely. I can't stand you being in any sort of emotional relationship with that guy. Harden? He's like the... Harden? God, I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that, but okay. And then she's like, I'll tell him not to visit. And he's like, you will? And she's like, yeah, I don't want it weighing down on you like this. She's just letting him control her that easily. Like, Jesus. And it's just so stupid. I won't put up with you rejecting me because of a dream, Harden. If you don't want me, then that's fine, but this is bullshit, she says through her teeth. Thank you. Grow a backbone, girl. As twisted as it is, this is the next line. Her anger stirs something inside of me, causing my blood to flow straight to my dick. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so Harden, like, freaks out at her, and she thinks that he doesn't like her anymore, only because he's so traumatized from his dream. It should be the other way around. Tessa should have been the one to freak out, and he should have been the one to be like, oh my god, what's going on? I'm trying to find the scene where he freaks out. I rest both my hands on his hips, my thumb pressing into the bare skin under his t-shirt. I expect to feel his lips on mine, but then I open my eyes. His guard has been drawn up. I hesitate but ask, is something wrong? He stops mid-sentence. I have a headache. Do you need something? No. I think I just need to sleep or something. It's late anyways. And that's because of the dream. So that's fun. See, and then even after they have that conversation, they're banging for like the second time in 5 minutes. And it's like, I love you so much. You still know that, don't you, I ask? As he kisses her with his tongue. She nods, but for a dreadful moment, Zed's face appears in my mind. His confession of love for my Tessa, and her thankful acceptance of it. I love you too, she had moaned in her sleep. A slow shiver travels through me, and I pause. Bitch, it was your dream! Noticing my hesitation, she puts her fingers into my unruly hair and takes possession of my mouth with hers. Come back to me, she begs. That's all it takes. So it's like we have more of Harden being pissed off at a dream than Tessa being assaulted. Like, we have more Harden has trauma from a dream than Tessa has a little bit of trauma from being drugged and almost raped just to make her boyfriend angry. I hate that. So, in chapter 105, Tessa says, the weight of Steph's betrayal is something I'm having a hard time lifting from my chest. But here's the thing. We don't see that. There's this thing in writing called show, don't tell. Anna's only telling us this trauma and this, like, betrayal Tessa's feeling, and it doesn't really happen enough for us to believe it, at least for me. But what she sure as hell shows is Harden overreacting to a dream he had. Because priorities. So they have this really small conversation about it, and then they bang. Okay. So, Harden goes to Zed's apartment, and I don't know if Anna Todd's ever lived in an apartment, but usually the front door has a key that you need to get in to be able to go to the apartment doors. So maybe in America that's just not a thing, but here in Canada, that is. So I don't know how people keep getting into apartments that aren't theirs. But, to beg Zed to not hang out with Tessa in Seattle. And then there's this part where Zed is all like, I don't want to hurt her feelings like that by being like, I can't, like, just to drop contact with her. And Harden's like, I don't give a fuck about hurting her feelings. You need to make it clear that you aren't going to be pining after her anymore. Pining after, sorry. And it's like, Harden, you're such a romantic guy. Wow, why can't my boyfriend, like, threaten the guys that talk to me? Wish he would. So there's 2 more things I want to, like, get to in the book. One of them, well, a couple more. One of them is when Harden tells Tessa, if another man had ever touched you, I wouldn't be with you, which is, like, a lie if you think about her assault. Because that would count in his mind, I guess. And Harden's mom is getting married in England. Harden doesn't tell Tessa about the wedding because he doesn't want to go. And she's like, he's hiding things from me again. Like, I don't know if I can trust him. Like, this is the one thing you shouldn't react like that to. Because who cares? He doesn't want to go to the wedding. So why would he bring it up with you? Like, who actually gives a shit? You know? Or is he going? I don't know. But she's like, he's keeping things from me again. And I'm terrified the problems this could lead to. And it's like, it's just a wedding that he doesn't care about. Like, this just shows how toxic he is, that, you know, he doesn't tell her about a wedding he doesn't care about, and she's freaking out, like, what else is he hiding from me? Like, that's not healthy, but okay, go off, I guess. Right, Tessa also says that, like, the last time she went to a club, you know, she ended up molesting Harden in her hotel room, using the word molest. And the night ended pretty well for me. Me, Tessa, after I molested Harden. It was pretty good for me. Even though he kept saying no, she kept saying yes, and then the next day she was like, you took advantage of me because I was drunk, and he was like, well, you wouldn't stop, and he had that moment of, well, I'm never, like, she's gonna be mad at me tomorrow anyway, so I might as well fuck her. We love a couple who cares about consent, and this is not it. I'm so sorry I'm reading part of their sex scene to you, but Tessa's really drunk and they're in a car, and Harden is completely sober, and he says, as I fill her, with his penis, completely and possessively. Why do you need to use the word possessive? It's like, I'm on this website, Quota, or something like that. I can't remember it. It's what I imagine Reddit is like people ask. So we've had a bad thing happen. My phone ran out of space from filming this review, so we gotta finish this. So, Harden puts his dick inside her completely and possessively, and then while she's really drunk, alcohol is laced with adrenaline. That's how drunk she is. She's really sexy. And then, where is it? I just want to find the part where he's like, if anyone else fucked you or whatever, I wouldn't have dated you. Let me find it. Sorry, I need to add because this book keeps getting worse. The next morning, Tessa wakes up and Harden's like, how's your ass? And she's like, we did anal? I was that drunk? And he's like, no. So that's kind of a red flag that she thought, oh my god, he did that while I was drunk. And I don't remember it because I was so drunk. That's really pleasant. Love that for her.
If you had been with anyone else, I wouldn't be with you now.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
I never claimed to be nice. You're being serious. Very. So you're telling me if I hadn't been a virgin, you wouldn't have dated me? That's exactly what I'm saying. If you recall, I didn't really want to date you anyways. Don't pout. Well, maybe you shouldn't have dated me then. Maybe you should have just ended it after you won the bet. Don't be such a baby. Just because I don't want to date you in the beginning doesn't mean that I'm not glad I am. It's still not nice to say. You said you wouldn't be with me now if I had been with someone else. So if I had slept with Noah before I met you, you wouldn't have dated me? No, I wouldn't have. We wouldn't have had that situation if you weren't a virgin. Situation? Yes, situation. Ah, fuck, I lost the page. I wouldn't have been able to stand it if you'd been touched by another man. I know it's fucking crazy, but that's the damn truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Whatever. Whatever. Stop being ridiculous. You know how I am. And you know you've given me new experiences. I've never loved anyone, romantically or even family, really. And I've never lived with anyone. I never gave a fuck about losing anyone before. But when it comes to you, I couldn't survive it. This is a new experience. Is that enough new experience for you? I'm not even facing him. And that's basically that scene. Ooh, sorry. So, because I'm running out of space, I'm just going to kind of breeze through this because I have one more scene with the dolls to film, which will be in the beginning during the hot tub scene. Sorry I didn't use them as much. I promise I will try to use them more in the next video. But so they go to England for the wedding. Harden finds his mom kissing Vance. He finds, she's not marrying Vance. Vance has Kim, who's like Tessa's only female friend. And then the next day, Vance is like, Harden, I need to talk to you. And Kim is talking to Tessa. And they're basically leading up to a "this is your dad" reveal. But the problem is, since they split this book in two, they had to leave it on a cliffhanger, so they just don't have anyone say, Harden, Vance is your dad. Instead, it's like the stupidest things. It's like... Where is it? God, it was so stupid. This lady is just like... Don't... Where is it? That's no way to treat your father, because he's yelling at Vance, and Harden's like, how fucking stupid is she? My father's in Washington. And it's like, you should really treat your old man with no respect. And then it literally, like, the chapter literally ends with, like, she wasn't supposed to what? Make some stupid comment about Vance being my father when clearly my father is ... And then he looks at Vance and they're doing the same thing with their hair, like moving their fingers through it, and then his chapter ends. And that's how Harden realizes Vance is his dad. So, this book was terrible. For the reasons you have seen. I'm sorry if this review sucks. I've been trying to review this book since October. It has not worked. And this is the closest thing that I could get. Merry Christmas. Thank you for being in this journey. I am officially starting this as soon as I edit this video. I'm going to be filming this in a vlog style review with the dolls involved, so that will be fun, I hope. And, yeah. I hope this brought some joy to the end of your year. It did not for me. My throat's really dry. Anyways, time to go make a hot tub for the dolls that you've already seen, so I hope I made it exciting. Anyways, yeah, please watch Like Magic. The link is in my bio. It's on my profile. I worked really hard on it with my friend Will, so it would mean a lot if you watched it. It's a parody of books like After. I think that's fun. Our main character is named Rosalind Jasmine Sapphire Paige Mackenzie Braden. She's a gem. Yeah. Anyways, goodbye.